What up? Peace to the gods. Back again. Back again with another study. Niggas is quarantined, so we might as well learn something. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Let's see here. Using these joints because I want to see how the microphone does for the audio, so I don't pay that shit no mind. Alright. I'm gonna start today with some things. Let's start right here. You know what I mean? It's the gods right there. Peace to the gods. It's Allah and the Master. And I was thinking about one of my homies, man. God understanding, man. He put me on to a lot of different things. Oh yeah, I remember this joint too. Remember this joint came out in the I think it came out in the Source. Yeah, the Source 2005. Remember that? They did a little joint. Yeah, I saved that article with that. That was dope. Oh, there you go. The gods right there. You got the woo. There go the flag. Studying my mathematics, God. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I need that page because we reading from that today too. But yeah. So my brother hit me up because when we went into that what was that? The DJ Conway joint. Let's go ahead and clear that up right now. Because my brother hit me up. And he brought something to my understanding. And I could see it. If I was closed-minded, I wouldn't see it. But I could see what he was saying. Alright. Where they at? Right here. Okay. In Africa, the sun and fire were considered enemies. Now, on the top surface level, I'm like, how is that? You know, they just the same thing. It's just a symbol. Light is light. You know. But my brother hit me. He was like, yo, they not the same light though. And I said, okay. You know, so when you think about it, the sun is a cosmic light and fire is like an earthly fire. So we got the building, you know what I'm saying, as the gods are supposed to. And we wind up coming to a realization that, you know what I mean, it could even break down to jealousy. It wind up being decoded as a form of jealousy. Because then you can think about it on the basic level. The earthly fire could represent the root chakra. You know what I mean? And then the heart could represent a cosmic light. So, you know. But this nigga start going in. He start going in on me like, with the plasma, and I was like, okay. If you go cosmic, then yeah, you got it. I wanted to tie it into, the basic elements as far as, what's around you, the basic four. Because then when you start going into that, we start getting into ether and all of that. And, that's the science. That's what we trying to do. We trying to reach a better understanding of things. So I wanted to go ahead and take a minute to point that out, that, I can see where the two different types of fires, if we getting technical, so on the basic level, it's like a form of light, but then it's like light in the cave versus light in the whole entire goddamn planet. When you put these things in different perspectives with each other, then yeah, it's just like I was saying, it can go quantum, small, or it can go big. So as above, so below. They polarities. So when my brother brought that up, for me to argue with that would serve no purpose. Just got to add on to the light. So that's what we gonna do. I was looking for the joint to add on to what he's saying too, cause that's my brother. That's my brother. Where you at? Oh, that's that student enrollment. Look at that. Look at this. I'm old school. I still got my damn 120s, kid. Still got my 120s. And today is the 19th, which is knowledge. So it's all lining up. But I was going to drop one more degree. Damn, yo. Remember niggas was memorizing this shit, yo? Damn, yo. I had this shit too at one point. Shit, I don't know. It's just like, riding a bike, I guess. If I really... Damn, son, niggas was really memorizing this shit. I remember writing this shit. 12 Jewels of Islam. Oh, there we go. The joints at the back, yo. There you go. Actual facts. And the solar facts and shit. That shit was fly as hell to be able to walk down the block and say, how goddamn nigga Mount Everest is 29,141 feet, God. But if your ass wasn't making nothing for yourself, then shit, that was just some fly shit to say. All right, here we go. Light travels at the rate of 186,000 miles per second. That's the 9th degree of the actual facts. And then there was one about here we go. Wait, this the 1 to 40. Who is that mystery God? The 10th degree. Who is that mystery God? There is no mystery God. The Son of Man has searched for that mystery God for trillions of years and was unable to find this mystery God. So they agreed that the only God is the Son of Man, and we lost no more time in searching for that which does not exist. Peace to the gods. You know what I'm saying? But technically, really, Titan, you want to get on the Titan shit. So you can even up is even level to upgrade that. All right, so yeah, so we could just keep going from there, man. I think I'm gonna go into this joint. This is Eva. I ain't even read this shit. PIERRAKOS, the Pathwork of Self-Transformation. Let's see what she got to say. This is coming out of page 212, 213. It's under the conditions of experiencing yourself as the universal spirit. Number 3, your conscious thought processes are the first handle on the universal spirit. You create with your conscious thoughts just as much as with your unconscious thinking and willing. Your thinking ability is actually exactly the same as the creative process of the universal mind. Though your consciousness is a separated fragment of the whole. Very key. It has the same powers and possibilities. The separation is not even real. It exists only because this is how you experience yourself at this time. The moment you discover the immediacy of this presence, you will no longer feel a separation between your thought and those of the greater being. Eventually, they will merge and you will realize that the two have always been one. It becomes evident that you have not availed yourself. It becomes evident that you have not availed yourself before of your innate powers. You left them unused or even misused them in your blind or even misused them in your blind state. Excuse me. You can finally begin to experience yourself as the universal spirit by using your conscious thoughts in a deliberate, constructive way. You could do this in 2 steps. First, you must clearly see how you have unknowingly used your mental processes negatively, thereby creating destructively. You can formulate what you now wish to produce in your life. You do this by stating that this is possible and by perceiving, knowing, and willing it with a relaxed attitude. Let's make a note of that. Can't be salty, yo. You can't be salty, yo. Like, you gotta humble yourself. Cause like, and then that's even when you dealing with you dealing with teachers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't be a dumbass. Don't let them. Don't let nobody tell you to do some ridiculous ass shit, man. You know what I mean? Keep your wits about yourself. Don't let them do all of that, but humble yourself to where you could receive something. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think you know everything, then you're not gonna learn anything. You know what I'm saying? And also being man or woman enough to be like, shit, I fucked that up or I got that wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you God having a human experience. So you can't escape the human shit that's gonna go on. So again, like my boy was saying, he's like, yo, I could see the difference in the 2 differences between the lights. And I'm like, okay, I could see it now too that we had this discussion. You know what I'm saying? You gotta like shit like sex. You think with this head or you think with that head. 2 different kinds of light. You know what I'm saying? So it's like an earthly thing and a cosmic thing. You got, you know what I'm saying, your container, this body, want sneakers and shit, want this, want that. And you know what I'm saying? Then I got my cosmic aspirations that I want. I want to leave a star system behind for my kids. And it could be represented as doing a 30-minute video and talking about my life, my experiences after I'm gone. So that leave a cosmic signature of knowledge through symbols and words. So then she can do her path. You know what I'm saying? Or her kids' kids. She may not even be with the shit. But nonetheless, that's what's going on. All right, let's continue. This also includes the willingness to change faulty and dishonest inner attitudes. That sounds like alchemy. That's alchemy. That's what we're doing. For otherwise, you will block what you want. All right, so we back. Let me go over that last portion again. Let's see. By building creative thoughts, you can tap. No, hold on. No, let me back up. Okay. You can finally begin to experience yourself as a universal spirit by using your conscious thoughts in a deliberate, constructive way. You can do this in 2 steps. First, you must see clearly how you have unknowingly used your mental processes negatively, thereby creating destructively. Then you can formulate what you now wish to produce in your life. You do this by stating that this is possible and by perceiving, knowing, and willing it with a relaxed attitude. So, you know what I mean? Controlling, again, like we was talking about, you know what I'm saying? Consciousness, perceive, and matter. And that's how you tap into a level of your consciousness to effect your reality. And that's what magic is. That's what we're trying to do. This also includes the willingness to change faulty and dishonest inner attitudes, for otherwise you will block what you want. Straight alchemy. By building creative thoughts, you can tap in the rich source within your own being. You begin with conscious thinking, which requires focusing attention on your thinking process, observing how you use them, how they create both what you do have and do not have. Once you can reverse this process, you have discovered a means of creation. You become truly your real self, for you are the universal spirit who created the world. You are constantly creating your own world right now. It is the life you lead. There you go, buddy. If you got, like I said, some of y'all may learn something. Some of y'all might not. You might be advanced and don't need to hear this, but again, trying to save self, God. We're gonna move on. What we got? I'm gonna see. I could go any way because, well, let's stick with the theme of transformation. That one was again, that was your girl Eva. It's another book on transformation. It's Robert A. Johnson. He got a nice little series. I got a couple of his joints. He got one on like ecstasy. He deal with the mythology. Shit, this book right here has too. In the work. We're gonna get into this one too. But so he got a bunch of joints. I like most of his books is like thin. They get to the point and it's very clear, easy reading. I fuck with it. It's pretty. I fuck with Robert A. Johnson's, like the way he get down. You can kind of get the gist of it pretty simply. This one is transformation. It says understanding the 3 levels of masculine consciousness. And I got the She book too. Somewhere around here. He be dealing with, I'll find it when we get to that. We'll get to it. This is it right here. Transformation by Robert A. Johnson. You see, authors of He and She. So he got other joints. I was on page 42 and 43, side of the Hamlet chapter, because he breaks down Hamlet. The first part he breaks down Don Quixote. But anyway, this is page 43. It is characteristic of complex man caught between functioning by instinct and acting by enlightenment that he often destroys everything feminine within his grasp. We watch Hamlet destroy Ophelia. For what woman or what feminine element could withstand such abuse? We see Hamlet destroy the queen, his mother, with equal devastation. All feminine elements within the face of three-dimensional unconsciousness. So we talking about characteristics of complex man caught between the function. Okay, yeah, right. The first part of it. The characteristic of complex man caught between functioning by instinct and acting by enlightenment. So you could do that shit inadvertently. You could be like this joint was talking about. Basically, it's like this. You could inadvertently be destroying your own kingdom. Inadvertently destroying your own shit from manifesting into your reality. You could be inadvertently, you know what I mean, fucking shit up for yourself. You could be literally in your own way. If that, you know, if you can catch that. I like the way she put shit on this. This also includes the willingness to change faulty and dishonest inner attitudes, for otherwise you will block what you want. So your ignorance can be a problem too. You could be riding for a cause based off of what you think you know, but shit, you could be fucking some shit up based off what you don't know. You know, it's like you could be riding for a cause you think this shit is the shit, but you know what I'm saying. You don't know the setup behind the shit. You don't know the person pulling the strings behind it. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let's see what Robert A. got. Hold on, was that the only part that it was like a small little piece, because he's really actually describing like different writings. Okay. Let me read this part. This is out of Faust. All right, I'll share this part before I get off of his transformation book, before we move on. All right, there are not enough Adidas shoes, Hawaiian shirts, or exercise machines in the world to fill the middle-aged man's longing for his lost youth. Civilization has cost us a huge portion of unlived life in payment for the high specialization it represents. Any civilized person pays a price for the culture and civilization. He has wrested from the raw materials of his character. To attempt to live out these unlived sections of ourselves literally is to fall into false error. And in part one of our lives in depression and misery. Few misconceptions of modern man cost him so heavily in this tendency toward literalness. Very, very interesting. If I don't know how the fuck you say this nigga. I'm gonna leave out the E. Gothi understood. I guess because I think it's a silent E. Goethe. If Gothi understood this, In the early 19th century, it is 100 times more urgent for us to understand it today. Let's see what was the juice at on that one. Okay. Yeah, any civilized person pays a price for the culture and civilization he has wrested from the raw materials of his character. To attempt to live out these unlived sections of ourselves literally is to fall into false error. So it's like, boom, once again, you can't get caught. You can't get too caught up in the concept of, not getting what you want, or not going for what you want, or not. Don't get caught up in that. You remember what's first. You manifesting your reality. You shape your reality around you. So how far you want to go? You know how far you need to go. You know when this shit is too much. Like, you know when, damn, you know what? It's time to put some energy on this. Or, damn, you know what? Shit. If I buy all the goddamn sneakers, then shit. How the rent gonna get paid? Like, you got to come to terms with yourself. This shit is, the way my teachers taught me, this shit is know thyself. You know what I'm saying? Know thyself. So yeah, all right. So that was that one. I'm trying to hit y'all with 4 of these joints, but I'm trying to keep the video really to the point. Touch on some different perspectives on transformation and light. That's kind of where this conversation is going. The types of light, interpretation of light, how you interact with your light. Alright, where was I going with this one? Let me take a minute to look at this, y'all. 'Cause I don't think that's where I wanted to hit. No, that wasn't the part. We can do this though. Okay, he going in on some dream work right there. So yeah, I think I'm gonna keep going with this one. Learning to reply, page 184, active imagination. Let's see what we get on this one. I think I found it. When we have learned to listen, we must learn to reply, to contribute our own information, viewpoint, and values. When people first learn to honor the voice of the unconscious and to take it seriously, there is often a tendency to go overboard and decide that this ego knows nothing. There is a tendency to take everything the inner figures say as final authority. Be careful. This would be just as foolish and one-sided as our previous ego-centered approach. Just as the ego needs to balance its viewpoints by going to the unconscious, so also does the unconscious need to be balanced by the attitudes of the conscious mind. That's the valve. It's like a nigga that read 100 books. Nigga read 100 books, and he don't say nothing. He gonna pop. It's pressure. You know what I'm saying? Consciousness move just like energy moves. So it's like you could, like, motherfuckers to learn or neurosis. Neurosis is what the shit is. You could develop fucking neurosis going in and going and going, and if you don't release the valve, if you don't, or take what you know and put it into a practicality, put the shit into use, make the shit tangible, do something with it, apply it, write, do a video, I don't know. But if you don't release that valve and you don't let it manifest into whatever, you could develop neurosis and fuck your own self up. That's what some of these motherfuckers be doing. Be going crazy in their own mind. And then they get a complex to where everything they think is right. On one hand, it's like, yeah, everything you say is right. No debate, because your mind shape your reality. So, nigga, you right. You right. The trick is, can you understand that I'm right and you right at the same time? Can you deal with that? If you could deal with that, then you might be a ancient comedic master. You might have the juice if you could do that. If you could say it ain't either or, it's both of these shits, then you might be an alchemist. Remember Jung's observation. He said that the ego's relationship to the huge unconscious is like that of any tiny cork floating in the ocean. We often feel like that. We feel like a cork that is being tossed about in the ocean life, completely at the mercy of the waves and storms that push and pull us. We seem to have little control or power over anything. Jung continued his analogy with a startling thing. The cork is nevertheless morally equal to the ocean, because it has the power of consciousness. God damn it, there it go again. The power of consciousness make all the difference in the world, man. That's making all the difference in the world. That's supposed to be what separates you from the animal kingdom. You know? Even though your ass is part animal too. Although the ego is small, it has a peculiar power of awareness that we call consciousness, and that special concentrated power gives it a position that is as necessary, as strong, and as valuable as the seemingly infinite richness of the unconscious. The little cork can talk back to the ocean and has a viewpoint to contribute, with one without which the evolution of consciousness cannot proceed. The ego can talk back, and this makes the dialogue one between equals. Let's go ahead and bring this home. The ego's capacity for consciousness gives it the power. The ego's capacity for consciousness gives it the power, the right, and even the duty to wrestle with the great unconscious on equal terms and to work out a synthesis of values. Your boy Robert A. This is page 185, 184, Learning to Reply. Learning to Reply section, and Active Imagination, Learning to Reply. This is Inner Work by Robert A. Johnson. Using dreams and active imagination for personal growth. Basically, alchemy. You know what I'm saying? So, there's that one. I think I was going to hit y'all with one more. We're going a little over than what I usually. But shit. Okay. This is Ledbetter. The Chakrahs. The Serpent Fire. This force is the physical plane manifestation of another of the manifold aspects of the power of the logos, belonging to the first outpouring, which comes from the third aspect. It exists on all planes of which we know anything, but it is the expression of it in etheric matter with which we have to do at present. It is not convertible into either the primary force already mentioned or the force of vitality, which comes from the sun. There we go. There we go, Bar. There we go, Bar. So it's kind of like the you got a primary force and then you got a force of vitality. That's another way of breaking those two things down. You know what I'm saying? You got a vitality. Like my man was saying, he was saying, "Yo, God, the sun is creating, like, because I think I said photosynthesis, and he was like, man, I ain't even think about that." He was like, fire can't make photosynthesis, or can it? I don't know. See, even my conscious mind, since I'm in the mind frame of where I'm not stuck on right or wrong, I can even entertain a thought in real time. You know what I'm saying? But on the topical, like, I don't know if you could grow up, if you isolate a fire, if you could grow like a fucking plant off of candlelight, off of light itself. That's an experiment right there. I'm sure somebody probably already did the shit, but I'm entertaining the area of thought that I hadn't thought of even now while I'm talking about it. But I ain't gonna take from his point. Point he was making was that, you know what I'm saying, primal fire is destructive. Sunlight is growing shit, growing our asses, giving us, you know what I'm saying, energies that we need, whether it's holographic or not, of course. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he made a point, like, you know, so you got a primal force and then you got a life vitality force. So that's just another way to explain that too. And it does not seem to be affected in any way by any other forms of physical energy. I have seen as much as 1.25 million volts of electricity put into a human body. God damn. So that when the man held out his arm toward the wall, huge flames rushed out from his fingers. Yet he felt nothing unusual, nor would he be in the least burnt under these circumstances unless he actually touched some external object. But even this enormous display of power had no effect whatever upon the serpent fire. So they talking about the Kundalini fire that's within man and woman. This is about to start getting into. We might need to pick up. We might need to pick up on this one. This would be a good this would be a good thing to get into. And that'd be dope, because if I could find it, that might be dope. Yeah, that'd be dope, because then we can get into this bad boy that I've been meaning to get my hands on this joint. I finally got it. The Serpents of Wisdom. So we can go from the Serpents of Fire and we can jump into the Serpents of Wisdom. And that's basically that fire that the fire within man, because now we can start getting into, you know, the power that's inside of us. We can start getting into that. But I hope what I had to share was helpful to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to, like I said, I'm trying to shed some light for me and minds. So, yeah, here we go. W Ledbetter, Chakrahs. I didn't read from this one, but this is some fire shit if you want to get into it. I need to go into it and see what's up, but just looking at this joint. Just looking at this joint. We got shit he got. Hold on. Maybe going into the temples. Raising the Jedi. The Jed. Go into the temples and shit and like show you connections. The star shafts connecting to the king's chamber. That was another thing too. You know what I'm saying? The primordial fires is pointing, the pyramids is pointing up to the cosmics. So, but I mean, you know, as above, so below. So, shit, it could be the cosmic energy just being translated and filtered down into the earth, and it could be manifesting itself on a range of different things. I guess that's why when the dude in the chakra joint, they gave the example of a motherfucker being shocked with all this electricity and I guess fire coming out his goddamn hands. Because I guess lightning and fire got a connection, which makes sense because when lightning strikes some shit, it should be burnt, it should be toast. You know what I'm saying? So this energy, man, you know, that's why it's you ain't gonna know it all, you know. You gotta, you know. Inner Work, Robert A. Johnson. Transformation, Robert A. Johnson. And this was a good one. This was a good one. Pathwork of Self-Transformation, Eva PIERRAKOS. I be butchering names like a motherfucker. Alright. Get ready to still got this gelato hanging around, so 1